G'day everybody, welcome to a massive week on Between the Posts, round 15. Some leagues had a bye, some leagues had finals. It was absolute chaos all over the joint, but it's great fun in the Adelaide Footy League, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, it definitely is, Lachie, and we're stoked to be here at Westminster, who play in Division 3. They're having a fantastic season. What have we got coming up on the show tonight?
Oh, we've got so much coming up. Young Alex Coots was in the building. He did what caught your eye with yourself. I was out, so I wasn't there, but plenty going on as well. We've obviously got the Division 1 wrap. Me and Jack will be handling that one. Beck's women's wrap as well. What else is on the show?
We've got your usual segments, Coach of the Week, Goals of the Week, and Marks of the Week, and what caught our eye, Lachie.
And of course, don't forget Div 3 expert, young Alex Coots coming in. He's fantastic, and I'm sure he gave you all the information you needed around Division 3. That's what's coming up. This was the intro. Thanks to 9 News. Well, it is that time, Banwell. It is the time to have a look at the Division 1 BTR Excavations wrap. I mean, it's been a big week of footy, let's be honest. There's been some big results, there's been some close results, there's been some margins that we weren't quite sure on, and it's certainly thrown a couple of questions up in the air as well. One result we were expecting our first game, Payneham Norwood Union 6-11-47, Golden Grove 21-10, 136, getting the job done by 89 points. The Kookaburras laughing once again. I don't think they've lost since the bye. They've been absolutely incredible, Banwell.
They have not. That's 8 on the trot for Golden Grove. It was 15 points, 19 points, 62 points. The third quarter, they really kicked away and ended up winning by 15 goals. Just a little one there for the Payneham versus Golden Grove fixture this year. Combined winning margin of 170 points across both fixtures there for the Kookaburras. So they've had their number over Payneham this season, and in the last couple of years between these two sides, Payneham have actually put up really good performances against Golden Grove. So good to see Golden Grove responding there and getting the job done convincingly.
Yeah.
What did you think of the game there, mate?
Yeah, a game we were probably expecting. Probably not to the tune that we did get. I mean, 89 points, you're never really expecting that. But yeah, it's a game there where Payneham Norwood Union, probably most people would have said they were going to lose that one. Golden Grove, far too good. Goal kickers, Kristanzik kicked 2. You were saying you think he's a goer off air?
Yeah, I love the way that Joey Kristanzik goes about it. He's kicked a fair few goals in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks. So he's finding some good form, and yeah, love watching him play.
100%. Giannini ended up with 1, Greaves with 1, Sparkle, Viney also found their way onto the goal kickers list. Across the other side, Lachie Pascoe, legs 11. No, I'm not talking about just a number. 11 goals, all of them pretty good. Just another thing for the 24, really. He's on fire. Josh Glenn chipped in with 3 of his own. Cavallaro 2, McKelvey 2, Dobie, Slater and Verity all end up on the scoreboard as well. The best for both teams, then I'll throw to you for the votes there, Banwell.
Yep.
So the best, Morris, Rahui, Wagner, Kristanzik and Giannini as well. Meanwhile, Cavallaro, Pascoe, McKelvey, Thatcher. Oh, he's always good down back.
He's an absolute rock, Aiden Thatcher.
You forget he's there sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, he just plays his role, and then you go, oh yeah, that's right. Aiden Thatcher is there holding down a defensive post. And then obviously Mitchell Payne as well in the best. But go through it, give us the votes.
Just before I do give the votes, I want to highlight Beck. She gave us great notes for this week's commentator's notes. So thank you, Beck. She described Golden Grove as terrifyingly unstoppable. That's how good they were on the weekend. So thank you, Beck. The votes, you can't go past Lenny Pascoe. 3 votes goes to him for 11 goals. 2 votes, Cavallaro, and 1 vote, Jake Pittman.
Our next game saw Glenunga taking on Port District. That was down south at Webb Oval, a 10-6-66 to 12-9-81 result. Speaking of results, you've gone into the numerology books this week and pulled out some stats. Just go through what you've got, because it's pretty good stuff.
There were some unbelievable performances in this game. Cooper Gaffney had 35 touches, half of those intercepts. He was mopping up down on the halfback flank. This stat now blew my absolute socks off. Scott Lysett, 46 hitouts, 34 touches and 15 clearances in the ruck for Port Districts. His opposing number, Geordie West, had 69 hitouts himself. So I don't know if there was any free-flowing football in this game, if it was just ball-ups and stoppages, I'm not too sure, but it was a phenomenal battle in the ruck there for those two big men.
Across the other side as well, the boring stuff goal kickers, Smith and Wonky both ended up with multiples. Abel, Bennett, Davis, Marini, Redmond and Wiseman all ended up on the board. And then over on the other side, Dwyer, Gaffney, Gray, Niskahus, 2.
Speaking of Cooper Gaffney and TJ, he must have had a little whisper into Alex Coots' ear, I reckon. Just look out for this guy at all times, because he took home the 3 votes, did Gaffer. 2 votes the last set and 1 vote to Jack Ferns.
Salisbury North, 21-13, 139. Broadview, 5-8, 38. A tough time at Tiger Land. They got the job done in the end, Salisbury North, but it was a day that was bigger than nothing footy there. You've got some information around that as well.
Yeah, 100%. It was a big day at the Nest. It was a quadruple header, and the key centrepiece of the day was Salisbury North and Broadview coming together and making a big fundraising effort for the Ruby Tuesday Foundation. The president of Salisbury North, Simon Warner, lost his daughter to illness and built the foundation on the back of that a few years ago. He also played in the 1999 Premiership team at Broadview, so there's the connection between Salisbury North and Broadview. The C grade played at the conclusion of the A grade, so there was plenty of players and fans sticking around for that one. Featuring the president, Simon Warner, he had a kick in the C grade for Salisbury North, and some legends of the Salisbury area, Gavin Wanganeen, Eddie Scud Hocking and Shane Edwards also took part in that game. It was a great day at Salisbury North, and I think Salisbury North took what I said about them last week personally, about them potentially missing finals. I did actually leave our shoot last week, and I thought, bugger, I think I might have made a mistake there, because I didn't even take into consideration their superior percentage on Sacred Heart. So apologies, but I'm glad that you guys responded and emphatically dispatched Broadview, which was the first 100-point margin of Division 1 this year. Lachie, there's a little stat for you.
There you go. You've just got the old numerology going. That, by the way, for people that can't tell, is like one of them things they pull the bingo numbers out of. So that was absolutely unbelievable. Some great numerology there. But there we go. Salisbury North winners by 101 points. Goal kickers as well. Now, I'm going to make a public apology to Jake Johansson. I've been getting his name wrong, and I got a message from Kurt Johansson. I'm not quite sure if they're related, whether they're brothers or anything like that.
No idea.
But
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I do apologise there to Jake and to Kurt as well. But positive news, he kicked 6 goals. So there we go. Halibut ended up with 3, O'Brien 2, Richard 2, Sharp 2, Wagner 2, Costanzo, Pearce, Tuck, and Jake Wagner as well, all ended up with 1. So there was an absolute kind of, I guess, goal fest down there.
The votes are 3 votes, Jordan O'Brien. And that's a little hint to what's to come later on in this segment, so stay tuned for that one. 2, and Brody Tuck with 1.
From an 100-point defeat to a 1-point game, that's the great joy of the Adelaide Footy League. 9-11-65, plays 9-12-66. Prince Alfred nearly got themselves what would have been a crucial win, considering next week's fixtures. We'll get into that in a minute. But I tell you what, it would have been a big win for Prince Alfred. It didn't quite happen. Sacred Heart now stay in touch with the top 5. They fell out last week after being top for the first 8 rounds of the season. So pretty incredible there. But at Park 9, Prince Alfred, they jumped out the blocks 5-1-31 to 1-3-9. Then it was a little bit of a pullback. Sacred Heart at halftime, 6-4-40, plays at 6-6-42. They were down by 2. 8-8-56, plays 8-10-58. And this is a stat you're not going to find for a while. You've been pulling out some stats, so I'm going to get a good one in as well. Prince Alfred won the quarter, and despite trailing by only 2 points at the final change, would lose the game anyway. 9-11-65, 9-12-66. There you go. Well, I mean, I came up with it on the spot. It's true, which is good, but I came up with it on the spot. Rightio, what do you make of the game?
What do I make of the game? PAC let one slip through to the keeper here. They got out of the blocks, as you spoke about, in stunning fashion. They were winning by 4 odd goals at quarter time, only 4 goals 10 for the rest of the match. So some inaccurate kicking there has cost them potential survival in Division 1 this year. So we've got 3 rounds to go. We'll see if that is a major factor for them, that result on the weekend. Free-flowing game for 3 quarters. I've got a plethora of commentators' notes here from Louis McKenna. Free-flowing game for 3 quarters, lots of uncontested footy and great ball movement through the centre of the ground until the last quarter turned into a genuine scrap of an arm wrestle, which reflected in the scoring, 1 goal each. So, yeah, Kakuro sparked the charge for Sacred Heart in the second term, kicked 3 goals by 5 minutes into that second quarter. So he proved to be the difference at the end of the day there. The votes, we've got 3 votes to Tristan Kakuro, 2 votes Hugo Kelly. He was enormous in the ruck for for Prince Alfred and around the ground. And 1 vote to Alex Carlotto. He was consistent as ever up the ground for the Shockers.
Well, it was another tight arm wrestle at Campbelltown Memorial Oval. Ross Trevor 11-3-69, St. Peter's 9-8-62. 7-point winners were the Rockers, and they were rocking long into the night as well. It was a very interesting game. Obviously, yourself was there with also me as well.
Yes.
Yes, it was a great game to watch. I think when you reflect on the game, Ross Trevor were probably better for longer periods. I think it's probably a fair way of putting it. I think that's what got them over the line.
Yeah, I would say probably 2.5 quarters maybe they were better. I reckon Spocko's got out of the blocks really well, and then the last quarter they obviously just tried to win the game, and they had a lot of forward half footy. But for that middle portion, it was probably the second quarter where it doesn't look like that Ross Trevor did much damage, but the ball lived in their forward half, didn't it, really, for that second quarter. They just couldn't quite make it count on the scoreboard. But they made it count on the scoreboard when it mattered. With 11 goals 3, plays 9 goals 8, so that's probably your ball game there for St. Peter's, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100% it was. But I mean, 11 goals 3 is ridiculous accuracy. It's not to the point where 9 goals 8 is nothing to be afraid about either. But I mean, when the game's decided by 7 points, one team's kicking accurately, 9 times out of 10 they end up winning the game of football.
Yeah.
But it was a great game to watch as well, and I think McCormack his name will come up when we go through the goal kickers list. But that goal at the end, it galvanised the troops. Goal kickers Lanzoni, McCormack both ended up with 3. Shoot, Tramford, and Slivak ended up with a goal as well. Ianello 2, Lambrooks 2, Allen, Carruthers, Higgins, McCarthy, Nelligan all ended up on the goal kickers list as well. And apologies to young Slivak as well. I was calling him Silvac for the last couple of weeks. His dad got in touch and let me know. So there's a couple. As this happens, I will let you guys know. Not that anyone else cares. It's just a great opportunity to make a public apology. Moving on to the best players: Wharton, Kemp, Best. Those 3 will come up in a minute as well. Shoot and Lim. Meanwhile, Ianello, Allen, McCarthy, Nelligan, and Weeks all ended up on the board as well. But why don't you give us the votes there, Banwell?
I will give the votes. 3 votes to James Wharton, 2 votes to Charles Kemp, and 1 vote to Darcy Best.
Time to have a look at the ladder. Port District on top, 24 points. Golden Grove in a second. We said that might happen on the stream on Saturday. They did get up there in the end. St. Peter's also in third there on 22 points. Salisbury North, Ross Trevor, and Sacred Heart. All of those teams you imagine are probably fighting for that position. Will it happen? Who's going to get there first? We don't know. Glenunga, they've got half as many wins there, so they're in a no man's land at the minute. Not playing finals, pretty much safe from relegation, you would think. Prince Alfred, Payneham Ord Union 3-12, and Broadview 0-15. A disappointing season for them as far as they're concerned. When you look at that ladder, what's the standout?
There was a bit of movement actually this week. Golden Grove, I think, were 4th, maybe even 5th last week, and they've rocketed up to 2nd, just above St. Peter's on percentage. Obviously, with St. Peter's going down on the weekend, so a little bit of movement, but still, it's bloody tight. An upset either way for Golden Grove. Look, we think they've got the easiest run home out of all the teams. If they slip up, they can shoot right back down, and if results go against them, look, I don't think it's going to happen, but there is still every possibility that Golden Grove could miss the finals. Their percentage is very, very superior, but if they do take teams lightly, some things could go against them. But yeah, I don't think we can go past 4th, 5th, and 6th with that logjam, all on 20 points. 56% for Salisbury North, 56.5 actually. I will say that half, because that 0.5% could be crucial and cost someone a spot in the finals. Ross Trevor, 55.5%, and Sacred Heart, 52. So 3.5% lower. That could be the difference for St. Peter's making finals and not making finals. They've got Ross Trevor, St. Peter's, and Salisbury North. We did touch on the run home a little bit last week. So they've now got 3 very tough games on the approach to finals. If they do come out of that and claim a final spot, I think you tip your hat and you say you deserve to be there. You have a real red hot crack at challenging still for a premiership, even though you'll probably have to come from outside the top 3 and not have a double chance. So whoever does make it out of Salisbury North, Ross Trevor, and Sacred Heart, you deserve to be there. And I do think genuinely on any given day, this top 5, any of these top 5 or 6 could win it on the day. Honestly, it's that tight in Division 1 at the moment.
Yeah, could not agree more. I was just going to say as well, just on Salisbury North, Ross Trevor and Sacred Heart, we were going to get to a point 2 weeks into finals where 2 of those teams are going to be eliminated because one's going to miss entirely and the other 2 are going to end up playing each other in an elimination final.
Yep.
So it's going to be a massive occasion. I don't know what the fixture looks like, but last year we covered the elimination final. Those teams always put on a great show, whether any combination, anywhere. So hopefully that's another opportunity that the league takes, and we get to have a little bit of a look at that game.
We do. I do have a question for you without...
fire it.
What's the phrase? Anyway,
Without
I've got a
notice.
question for you without notice. That's the one. Do you think it's a case of when, not if, Ross Trevor will return to being the powerhouse of Division 1 they were about a decade ago? They did win a few flags there about a decade ago. I think they've got everything there that they can be great for a very long time.
That's not a nice thing to ask me without any prep.
Yeah. Sucked in.
Yeah,
that's show.
Yeah, that's
You're
fair.
leaving.
That's fair. That's fair. Yes, I do. Whether or not there's a massive, in teams like this all the time, you have a look right at the top level. St Kilda in 09 and 10, they had everything there to be a powerhouse of the competition. Didn't win anything. But just everything's there on paper. So I'm going to go with yes. I think they've got an opportunity. But Ross, but it's up to Ross Trevor, it's up to Damien Booth, it's up to the players whether or not they actually make it reality. But certainly they've got a team there that inside one season is already challenging for finals and, dare I say it, already challenging for a flag. So whether or not it comes to fruition, who knows? Hopefully it does. But yes, certainly plenty more coming from, I guess, kind of their side as well. Whether or not it's this year, whether or not it's next year, I think they'll win a flag. Whether or not they win a couple, well, that's on them.
Very good. I love that response. And sorry to the other 9 clubs for just highlighting on Ross Trevor. But
We'll go through them all. What are you thinking now?
I was very impressed with what I saw from Ross Trevor on the weekend and just following them along all year. It's been really good to see from that point of view. What are we going through now? It's the High Five E-Bikes Player of the Year votes.
It is. Let's get those votes. Do you want a hat or shall I?
No, you can chuck the hat on,
mate. Jamal will love this. There we go. Rightio. The player gets a $5,000 e-bike, and also as well, you can win yourself a $5,000 e-bike by making sure you engage. You become an Adelaide Footy League, BTR Excavations Division 1, all the way through to Division 7 Nuffy. If you do that, you find yourself with a great prize at the end of the day if you are the one that is selected. And to our friends and family, you can't win. Unlucky. Rightio, let's move into the votes. Start from 10 and work your way up. And I will make a note here. Callum Hay, you are also on 9 votes. Please don't come find us. Darcy couldn't reorganise the graphic. Get him, not us. Rightio, let's go from 10.
We're starting off 9 votes. As you said, Callum Hay is tying with Matthew Nunn from Payne Northern Union. Another tie here on 11 votes, Xavier Tramford from Ross Trevor, Joey Haynes from Port District. 14 is another tie. There's ties bloody everywhere. Josh Glenn from Golden Grove and Scott Lysett from Port District. 15 votes, Cooper Gaffney and Malachi Carruthers round out 4th and 5th spot. This is where it gets to the pointy end. Can I have a drum roll, please? 3rd place, Geordie O'Brien, 17 votes. And would you believe it, 4 votes, 4 games in a row, he's taken home the 3 votes. We thought he might be winning, but he's behind by how many votes?
Just 1.
Stick around. I just
sorry.
ruined it for everyone.
Sorry.
Anyway, he's also tying with Lenny Pascoe, 17 votes. As we know, he's kicked 70 goals for the year, Big Len, so he is dominating. Big drum roll here, Lachie. From Golden Grove Football Club, Jake Pittman on 18 votes. It is tight at the top of the High Five E-Bikes Player of the Year voting. This is the last time you will see the leaderboard for the High Five E-Bikes Player of the Year. It will be at the conclusion of round 18. We will deliver the winners of the High Five E-Bikes Player of the Year and the overall standings. So stay tuned for more Adelaide Footy League action here on Between the Posts. And for you, Adelaide Footy League fans, we have a very special announcement. Saturday, 20th of September, Division 1 Grand Final Day at Cooper Stadium, otherwise known as Norwood Oval, down there at the parade. Jamal is going to be there, and Jamal has a very special announcement for everyone.
Yes, we're gonna be there. You can come, see it, feel it, and buy it. We're gonna have a great offer for you guys, so don't miss it. All welcome.
You heard the man. Make sure you get down to Cooper Stadium, Saturday, 20th of September, Division 1 Grand Final Day, and otherwise, we'll see you at the footy.
Yeah, for those that haven't seen it, obviously if you weren't watching Match Day Live, you wouldn't have seen the amazing gift the guys got me because I am moving up to Broken Hill. So Banwell is going to take over, God help you all. And that was mean, but it was deserved. So yeah, no, obviously Banwell's going to do a great job. It's been an honour to broadcast for you guys and to make sure that, you know, you got to see your favourite players in the Adelaide Footy League. Nice and close and personal. Each week, a massive thank you to John Douglas, and there are others as well that I will reach out to personally, because if I start listing names here, A, I'm going to cry, and B, I'm probably going to miss someone, which is more to the point. But Banwell, good luck. Don't ruin my stream.
Thanks, mate. I'll try my very best. I'm sure me and Adam will hold the fort down for you, mate. I know you'll be tuning in. And yeah, just personally from me, mate, we barely knew each other at the start of the year. And it's been an absolute pleasure to work alongside you, and now I can definitely consider you a friend, and can't wait to follow you as you continue your journey into the sports media field, mate. You're obviously moving pretty far away from home. It's a big step personally and professionally, so kudos to you, mate, for getting yourself out there, doing the things that you need to do to succeed later on in the future, and I have absolutely no doubts that you will. Just before we do wrap up this little emotional segment here, I do need to stitch up here, Lachie.
Yes, stitch
all
up.
right. So you did touch on it a couple of times. We love your enthusiasm. You've been on notice the last couple of weeks for just a couple of mispronunciations with some players. So I'm just going to rattle a couple off. You did touch on Silvac,
Yep.
Slivac,
Yep.
Johansson, Johannesson,
Yep.
Russo. I'm pretty sure it's Russo.
Yeah, look, I copped that from my boss at work. I got that one wrong. So Dion, if you're listening, I hope you're well, mate. I hope things are well at Lockleys. And thank you for telling me. Much like all the banking stuff, I wasn't listening either. So
McAuliffe. I did hear a Macaulay one day.
yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. How you've gone through and watched every single MDL stream to bring this to us?
I've got a couple more. All right, these are a couple of my favourites.
Oh.
Poor Josh Dobie from Golden Grove. He's getting called Doobie.
Yeah, hang on, I got that.
Like, come on.
I got that one right at the end.
And this one,
Oh.
yeah, no, to be fair, you have adjusted, because
Yeah.
I did listen to one later on in the season and you got it, and I was like, no, I've definitely heard him say it, so I tracked back and I had to find it.
Just on Dobie as well, he's got a brother playing at Centrals in the 18, so I had to get that one right.
Yes.
Yep.
This is my absolute favourite.
Oh, God.
Elliot Murata for Ross Trevor.
Oh, yeah, I got this one wrong on the weekend too.
Miranda?
Yeah, I had an N on my list. That's what I get for writing them out. So I had his name spelled Muranda. So, sorry there, Elliot. I shot myself in the foot, and therefore, by comparison, shot you in the foot too.
That's all I'm going to embarrass you for, mate.
Oh,
but yeah,
geez.
really, it's been a great pleasure to work alongside you. Love your enthusiasm. Definitely believe that. We've formed a great duo. On the weekend, there was a couple of people at Ross Trevor that come up to us and were praising the product and stuff that we're trying to deliver for the fans out there. So, yeah, these things don't happen without you, mate. And hopefully, stepping into your chair and whoever fills in my chair as the other co-host.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
We can do what you and Tommy Javor have done justice. So, yeah, like I said, all the best, and yeah.
Do you belong in a role that drives you? In a community that makes you proud? In a team that brings out your best? You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Well, here we are. It's your favourite part of the show. Don't worry, I won't tell the boys, but it's women's wrap time. I know you've been waiting for this for the whole of Between the Posts. Now, we have an absolutely thrilling conclusion to the Women's Division 1 minor rounds to talk about. First rounds of finals, and of course, finals previews galore. There's actually so much to get through, so we're going to get right into it. And we'll start, of course, with the big one, the BTR Excavations Division 1 Women's Comp. Now, I'm sure you've been waiting for this one. because if you remember from our previous show with the Dunbar sisters, we had a huge clash to come between Henley and Broadview, just one game left for the season. All other games had been played in the final round. The fate of the entire season rested on this game, legitimately. So we'll set the scene. Saturday, Broadview Oval. Henley are in second, no matter the result. Henley win and Happy Valley will finish in fourth. Broadview win and they come absolutely catapulting into the four. And it was Broadview with the Hail Mary, the absolute upset, the game of their lives. Broadview 4-3-27 defeated Henley 3-5-23. Can you believe it? A 4-point win against the second place Henley to win themselves a final spot at literally the last possible moment. And it seemed the Tigers were really after it from the get-go. They led at the first break after kicking a goal and holding Henley to just 1 point. They had a 4-point lead at halftime and then got up by 10 points at three-quarter time. It was all happening in the last quarter. Broadview only managed 2 points, while the Sharks actually managed to win the quarter with 1 goal too. But they fell just short, going down, as I said, by 4 points. What an absolute thriller and a really fitting end to the Division 1 season. We've seen so much drama, ups and downs, and the tightest ladder I've seen in years. It felt like it was always really going to end this way with a huge moment like this. And you know what? You've got to feel for Happy Valley, and I'll give them a shout out here before we talk about the rest of the game. Happy Valley, of course, was sitting in fourth before that game, just waiting for the result to happen. They trained all week, not knowing if they would even have a game to play the next week, as the fate was out of their hands. And unfortunately, the win by Broadview sees them out of the four and season over with just an extra week of training under their belts as well. So full credit to Happy Valley for going through that last week of training for a game that they never got to play. Now, back to this game, I'm quite frankly still in disbelief days later. I talked about last week about the rise of Broadview and how they have just come in absolutely flying. Their rise up has been absolutely incredible, and honestly, it must be inspiring to be a part of that group at the moment under coach Kate Ferguson. So well done, Broadview. We know they want that place in the grand final and the ultimate prize, so the next phase of their season starts this weekend. They've definitely got a point to prove in the division and also to themselves, as we know their finals run last year did not go to plan. But again, I do want to acknowledge they have had a fantastic year. But we know you can throw it all away and everything changes coming into finals. So let's have a look at our matchups for the first weekend of finals in Division 1. How exciting. Now, we'll of course start with 1 versus 2, which is Payneham versus Henley. We know the deal here. Payneham didn't drop a game all season. Their closest was, of course, the draw to this side, Henley, just a few weeks ago. This is shaping up to be an epic clash. I know there's just a little bit of beef building between these two teams, and both sides are absolutely stacked with talent. Both sides want to get that win so badly to go straight into grand final. And we have to say, Payneham do have the upper hand here. Finals veterans, reigning premiers, it's all very much set up for them to take the win here. But Henley, they've absolutely got the chance to shake things up, give themselves some confidence and bounce back from their loss to Broadview. If you're a fan of either side, you've got family in the team, friends, connections, or just love footy, get down to Payneham Oval Saturday 3:15 p.m. to see how this all plays out and who is going to be our first grand finalist in Division 1. Now, over in our elimination final, we have Morpheville Park versus Broadview. Now, this game is going to be just as huge as far as I'm concerned, because A, either team can win this, and B, either of these teams can 100% challenge whoever they come up against the week after. Now, the record between these two teams this season is 1 win apiece. I think this is going to be a close, tough match. We've got Broadview, we've just talked about them. They've risen from the ashes of their rough first half of the season and got themselves into finals by the smallest of margins. But as I've said time and time again, we can never underestimate Morphees. The experience, the talent, the players that have played so much football. They have smart, strong, talented footballers who know what they're doing, and of course they know finals football. This match could truly go either way, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens here. Now, if you want to get out to this one, make sure you are at Kellett Reserve Saturday, 3:15 p.m. to check out this epic finals clash. And we've got 2 other finals before those Division 1 clashes as well. In the Div 1 reserves, Henley and Goodwood will face off at 1:30 p.m. at Payneham, and Morphettville Park and Broadview will play in the elimination final at 1:30 at Kellett Reserve. So a couple of great double headers at your ovals this weekend to see in Division 1 and Division 1 reserves. Now, let's have a look at Division 2. All teams have had the week off, a chance to rest the bodies, and they're ready for finals. 1 versus 2, the undefeated mighty Anglevale versus Tea Tree Gully playing off at Anglevale Saturday, 3:15 p.m. In our 3rd versus 4th clash, Hope Valley will host Old Ignatians at Hope Valley, also at 3:15 p.m. In Division 3, well, they've already kicked off their final season last weekend, so we're already in finals mode in Division 3. In the clash between 1st versus 2nd, Port District's 9-3-67 had a convincing win over Mitcham, 3 goals straight, 18. A 49-point win to Port Districts to send them straight into the grand final. Goal scorers for Port Districts, Jasmine White with 4, Ruby Matthews and Kendall Saffin with 2, and 1 to Sailor Cowan. Their best was Sinead Saunders. Over on the Mitcham side, goals went to Eden Berger, Dionysa Papia-Georgiou and Sienna Shields. Their best on was Paige Mellor. In the elimination final in Division 3, Pembroke Old Scholars had a 9-point win over Westminster to get themselves a spot in the prelim to face off against Mitcham. And we have to give a shout out to the skipper of Pembroke Old Scholars, Ashley Carter. She played her 50th game in that win. So congrats to Ashley and congrats to your team on making it through the elimination final and keeping your finals hopes alive. Mitcham and Pembroke will face off at 1:40 p.m. on Saturday at Blair Athol Reserve. So make sure you get down there. If these are your teams or you're in the area, just get in there and have a look. It'll be a great game. Now, over in Division 4, the girls also kicked off their finals journey, and there were 2 absolute thrillers of real finals footy. In 1 versus 2, the undefeated Modbury shook off an early scare from the Glenunga Rams to win by 7 points. Now, Glenunga came out absolutely flying, starting the first quarter with 2 goals to, while Modbury did not score. Modbury regained control in the second and decreased the deficit. They were challenged again in the third, and Glenunga was still up by a goal at 3/4 time. However, Modbury came home strong like the undefeated team they are and snatched the win. So Modbury moved through to the grand final and Glenunga get a second chance. Glenunga will play against Athelston, who got up in another absolute thriller in the elimination final, which was between the Raggies and Jeps Cross. Athelston 4-1-25 defeated Jeps Cross 3-5-23. Yes, that's right, just 2 points. A game full of lead changes. It was the accurate kicking of Athelston that won out in the end. Led by their goal kicker, Natalie Lohman. She's an absolutely key forward down there for the Raggies. She kicked 2 crucial goals. So Glenunga and Athelston will face off for the remaining spot in the grand final, 11:50 a.m. Saturday at Blair Athol Reserve. And, you know, we must say well done to Glenunga. It's their first season of footy in the women's competition, and, you know, they've made the final, so they're doing well. We know they'll want to win that one desperately, but they're coming up against Athelston, who do have that finals experience. So we'll check back next week to see who got in the grand final there. Now, in Division 5, we are also celebrating round 1 of finals being one and done. We will start with the triumphant Salisbury North girls, who defeated Kilburn to send themselves into the Division 5 grand final. Now, I have to talk about this one, as this game is about more than just football. Salisbury North, of course, had a huge event and fundraiser for the Ruby Tuesday Foundation as part of a home quadruple header. Now, a big part of this day, and of course the heart and soul of our team here at Between the Posts, is TJ Tommy Javor. I'm very proud of TJ and his work out at Salisbury North for the Ruby Tuesday Foundation, and this event wouldn't have happened without him. Ruby Tuesday, of course, supports disadvantaged children and youth. They had a really great day out there at Salisbury North. Please definitely have a look at social media at the awesome Guernseys that they were wearing for this special round and the awesome things that went on the day. In terms of the final, I have to say thanks again to TJ for sending through the details of the game. I love his passion and just how proud he is of the girls at Salisbury North. And I know he has big things planned for women and girls at this club and their growth and development. This team has worked so hard all season and built great connections to get themselves into the grand final for Division 1. So a very inspiring win for all involved. So Salisbury North, as I said, booked their spot in the grand final with a 34-point win. Now, it's not all about Salisbury North. I must say TJ had plenty of praise for their opposition Kilburn, who are also building such a strong team at their club and in Division 5 this year. We love to hear stories about teams being competitive, but also respecting each other, learning from each other and helping each other grow in their footy journey, which is what's happening here. Also on the Kilburn side, I have to give another shout out to Madeline Agius, who finished the season as the Division 5 leading goal kicker with 63 goals, and she also kicked 2 goals in their final. Kilburn, of course, stay alive with a second chance and will play Marion next week in the prelim final. Marion won their elimination final over Wilderness Old Collegians by 16 points. Marion led the charge all day and were just too strong, highlighted by a great performance from Darcy Code. Now, whilst they didn't get the win on the day, I have to say congrats to the Wilderness girls on their very first season in the Women's League. It is always a huge jump coming in for your first season of footy, but the Wilderness Lions battled hard all year, taking out 8 wins and should be very proud of their 4th place efforts in their first year. Winners Marion now travel to Blair Athol to take on Kilburn at 10 a.m. So between you and me, it looks like a massive day of footy at Blair Athol, and that is the place to be where it's all happening. On the weekend, you can see all those prelim finals from Division 3 to 5. And finally, in Division 6, well, we still had 1 round to go, so we finished off our season with round 15 action on the weekend. Our winners were Seaton, Hope Valley and Tea Tree Gully. Our Week 1 finals action will see the big 1 versus 2 clash between Seaton Ramblers and Tea Tree Gully. They will play at 4:45 p.m. on Saturday at Pedlar Reserve, while Inglefarm and Hope Valley will play in an elimination final at Roe Park, 4:45 p.m. Saturday as well. But make sure, of course, to double check all your fixtures in Play HQ, but get out there and see some women's finals footy action. You won't regret it. And if you can't make it out, well, we will of course be here next week to bring you all of the results and whatever else we can find here on Between the Posts. And we are of course streaming 2 massive days of women's grand finals, 16th of August and 23rd of August. And if there's anything special happening at your club or great stories from the final series, you can always let me know. You can find me on most social media platforms under Beck Northcott, of course. I always love to hear from people who love their club and love women's footy. Well, I've got finals fever and I couldn't be happier about it. I'll see you next week with all the results, upcoming finals, and of course, some grand final previews as they start to happen. How exciting. Keep your eye on Between the Posts.
All right, footy fans, it's time for your Farmers Leap Coach of the Week. And we are here tonight at the home of the Westminster Dragons, and their coach, Zeb Kenny, is your Farmers Leap Coach of the Week for round 15. The Dragons are absolutely flying this year in Division 3 on the back of being promoted from Division 4 last season. They sit top of Division 3 as it currently stands. They've got top spot sewn up. They have 14 wins and 1 loss. Will the Dragons add to the premiership flags that are hanging around the walls here in the club rooms, or will the Dragons be slayed? Only time will tell, but for now, Zeb Kenny, you are our Farmers Leap Coach of the Week. And g'day footy fans, it's time for another division wrap, and this week we are at the home of the Westminster Dragons, and I'm joined by wheelchair footy player, Oz Kicker of the Year. He's been commentating since he was 8 years old, and he's also doing the Kids Call on Channel 7 this Thursday night, but he's been kind enough to join us tonight before he flies out tomorrow to the Big Smoke in Melbourne. We've got Alex Coots, who's going to cover 9 News Division 3. Alex, welcome mate.
Thank you, it's a privilege to be here.
No worries at all. Why don't we kick things off straight away with some results around round 15. There was a couple of interesting ones. Why don't you go through them for us?
So the first game of the round was the closest. It was Foss Camden, 10-9-79 versus Seton Ramblers, 11-8-74. So it was a 5-point win to Foss. And the quarters, they went a bit strange. It was first quarter it was a goal apiece. Then the second quarter, Foss kicked 5 goals 10 to the Seton 1 goal 1.
5-10.
Yeah.
Wowee.
15 scoring shots in a quarter. I bet you've never seen that before. And in the third quarter, it was Foss 2 goals 1 to Seton Ramblers 6 goals 4. And Foss won the last quarter by 4 points to get a 5-point win. Next game, Westminster, they were 20-12, 132 versus Hope Valley, 7-10-52. That was an 80-point margin going the way of Westminster. Nicholas Lake got 6 goals, and he's in front of the goal-kicking list by 8. He's got 45 goals, and he should win it, you'd think, but Jake Sutcliffe, although he's only played 10 games, he's still only 8 behind. He's averages 3.7 goals a game compared to the Lex 3 goals a game. And
Wow.
And he's only played 10 games, so if he played that 5 more, or even a few more, he could probably be first.
Yeah, definitely. I did see that Lek was first and Sutcliffe was second, but I didn't know that Sutcliffe had only pid 10 games, so that's a great effort from him, but he could be higher up there, as you're saying.
Yeah, he
very
certainly
good.
could. Next game was Unley Jets, 11-13-79 versus Edwardstown, 6-9-45. That was a 34-point win to Unley Jets. Edwardstown, they were first earlier in the year, believe it or not, and now they're 7th.
I can't believe it.
They
I
were
cannot believe it.
4-1, and now they're 6-9.
There you go.
That is absolutely ridiculous. Andrew Cabaz, the skipper, he got 3 goals for Unley, and he was best on for them.
Beautiful.
Next game was Pembroke, 16-15, 111 versus Scotch, 5-7-37. That was a 74-point win to Pembroke. Nicholas Dinham and Darcy McRosty combined for 7 goals. Dinham kicking 4 and McRosty kicking 3. And Campbell McLeod for Scotch, he got 3 goals and was their best on.
Very good. Finish off with the last game of the round, mate. Kilburn versus North Haven. Bit of a one-sided affair maybe there?
I'd say so, and it was both teams, they were even scoring shots. It was 15-15 Kilburn and North Haven was 10-10, so there was 105-70 there. Kilburn with a 35-point win, and Michael Howson got 4 goals for Kilburn and was their best on.
Yeah, right. Just looking at the all those games and the ladder position, they were the closest two on the ladder, so that was a bit of a grudge match and a bit of a finals. Could be a potential finals decider there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. North Haven, they're going to contend for the top 5, and Kilburn, I'd say that's solidified this spot.
Yep, very good. We will jump into the 9 News Division 3 ladder as well. So why don't you kick us off? Who's sitting top of the ladder in Division 3, mate?
Top of the table is where we're at right now, the Westminster Dragons. They're 14-1 with a 63.6 percentage, and they're first. Look like they're going to stay first for the rest of the year.
I think so. With only 3 games to go, they probably can't be caught, can they? Unless something terribly bad happens, but we don't want that to happen.
And of course, if Westminster, they go 0-3 somehow and they lose by a lot, and Unley go 3-0 and win by a lot.
Yep.
So, don't think that'll happen though.
Nah, I don't think so.
So next is Unley at second place. They're 11-4 with just under 60%. So I reckon they'll stay in second. They'll be unlucky to drop down to third.
Yep. Who is in third, mate?
Pembroke Kings. TJ, he predicted them to be their underdog, the Smoky, for the grand final.
Oh, did he really?
And I reckon he's going to be on the mark and pretty close. They're 10-5 with a 58.6 percentage. And it's going to be between them and Kilburn for third spot.
Okay. Kilburn, they're currently in 4th, and Foss also are in 5th. They've both got 9 wins, 6 losses there, mate, so they're just separated by about 5%. I have been noticing that Kilburn have been piling on the big scores and getting some big wins, so that's probably where that 5% margin gap comes in. What do you reckon?
They've had a lot of percentage since the start of the year, even though they were 8th. And when I did the junior review, they were my Smoky to get in the grand final, and now they are 4th on the ladder, being 9-6 with a 58.4 percentage, and that just stands out.
Yeah,
being
definitely.
That low on the ladder.
And you know what? I don't mind that shout from you, them as a smoky, potentially making the Div 3 Grand Final. They've won the last 2 premierships in Div 5 and Div 4, so they're just riding this wave of momentum and positivity. So they'll be confident that come the pointy end of the year, they know how to play the right standard of footy in finals time to get to the big time. So we could well see them there in Grand Final day, I reckon.
Yeah, then Foss Camden.
Yep.
They were top also earlier in the year. I'm pretty sure they were 6-1, and now they're 9-6. So they've also dropped off along with Edwardstown.
Wow, they've had a big slide, haven't
They
they?
were both the teams that came down from Div 2 as well last year, Edwardstown and Foss.
Yep.
And Edwardstown, if they're really, really lucky, they might barely make it into finals if Foss have a miraculous fall down, same as North Haven, but still don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, they're 2 games behind North Haven in 6, who have won 8 games for the year. They do have a better percentage, but yeah, they'd probably need a bit of a miracle higher up from them, and they need to keep winning, don't they, for Edwardstown to sneak into the finals?
Absolutely they do. And then it's the relegation, Scotch and Hope Valley. They're 2-13 for Scotch and 1-14 for Hope Valley, so they're definitely going to go down to Div 4, and then Seaton in 8th. They're not going to make finals. They're not going to get relegated. They're kind of like Glenunga in Div 1.
Yeah, they're just sort of in no man's land, but that's okay. They've solidified their spot for Div 3. I'm sure they're probably already trying to scout some new players and things like that, trying to build for season 2026. I'll get some predictions off you there, mate. So we've just gone through the ladder. Who do you think's going to make finals? We've got a couple of teams battling for 5th. The top 3, it's still pretty open, as we've discussed. And then the grand final, who's going to play in the grand final, and your winner as well. What do you reckon?
So I'll start with the top 5. I've got Westminster in 1st, Unley in 2nd, Kilburn in 3rd, Pembroke in 4th, and North Haven in 5th. So I reckon they'll just overtake Foss.
5th, so a little jump there
Yeah.
over Foss. Okay.
And my top 3 is going to be Westminster, Unley, and Kilburn. And my grand final is going to be Westminster versus Unley, and Westminster will win by 10 points.
Westminster by 10 points. Alex has cast his crystal ball. Westminster, where we are tonight, they will be premiers in Division 3 by 10 points. That's interesting. I like that Kilburn just jump over Pembroke. It'll be interesting. They've got a massive game coming up this week, which we will touch on. But before we do, mate, you've mentioned them. You mentioned a couple already, but run us through the rest of the guys who are kicking big bags in Division 3. Who's the leading goal kickers?
The leading goal kicker, Nicholas Leck, he's in front with Jake Sutcliffe not far behind. Josh Holiday from Edwardstown, he's 3rd, and he had some big bags at the start of the year. He had a bag of 7, a bag of 6, and even a couple bags of 4 as well. So
yeah, wow.
He's fallen off now. So he was first by, I think, 9 goals early on this year when we did the June review, and now he's just climbing the job down to 3rd and might get 2nd if he's lucky.
Yeah, right. What about Nick Leck? Is he just consistent kicking 2 and 3 every week, or does he have some big bags to show as well this year?
Yeah, he's had a lot of big bags. He's a leader by 8, and he averages 3 goals a game, being 45 goals with 15 games. 45 divided by 15 is 3, so
it definitely is.
3 goals a game.
Quick maths here with Alex. Very good, mate. We'll go into round 16 fixtures and tips. So first off the bat, we've got Seaton hosting Westminster. Who's your tip there, mate?
Westminster by 5 goals. They'll go 15-1.
5 goals. Oh, I think it could get ugly for Seaton, actually, looking at the ladder.
I reckon they might, because it's at home, they might pull off something.
True. Edwardstown, they host Foss, so we're talking about Edwardstown maybe making finals. They need to beat Foss, so what do you reckon there, mate?
I reckon they'll keep their finals hopes alive.
You reckon finals hopes
Foss
alive?
by 10 points.
All right, I'm going to go with the away side Foss there. I think they might just be a little bit too good. Unley versus Kilburn.
This is my game of the round. It's going to be super close. Unley by 3.
Agree. I've tipped Unley. I'm not game enough to tip a margin there, but I think they might just be a little bit too good at home. And I've seen that they did beat Kilburn by about 40 points earlier in the year in the reverse fixture. So good history there for the Jets. Pembroke Kings, they take on Hope Valley. I think we're going to go Pembroke.
I mean, Hope Valley 10th, Pembroke 3rd. Pembroke by 10 goals.
And North Haven, another team that are battling to keep their finals hopes alive. They venture out to Scotch Old Collegians.
Yeah, well, I predicted them to go 5th over Foss, and they can get tied but lose on percentage, and I reckon that'll happen this week. They'll win by 4 goals.
They can. There you have it, guys. There's your 9 News Division 3 wrap. Alex, as always, absolute superstar. Best of luck on Thursday commentating the big leagues. Make sure you look out for Alex all over socials, all over Channel 7. He's doing some great things. He's a superstar in the making. Can't wait to see how far he goes. But for tonight and your coverage of the Adelaide Footy League, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, footy fans, it's time for What Caught Our Eye. Oh! We're back. We're back. We're back.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
You got me.
I was not expecting that.
Alrighty. Division 7. What did you see in Division 7 there, Alex?
Division 7, Elizabeth, they're undefeated and first in Div 7. They have the highest percentage across all the men's divisions with 82.25.
Far out. Elizabeth. Absolutely flying. What caught my eye in Division 7 was Hackham were the only team to win away from home in round 14. They beat Smithfield by 37 points. Next one.
All the winners in Div 6 scored more than 100 points and all the losers scored less than 65 points.
St Paul's recorded a much needed percentage booster. They won by 117. 3 players kicked 5+ goals. We got Lachlan Falco with 7, Glenn Gibbs with 6, and a new mate of mine, Mitch Todd. He's also a crazy, scary runner, and Lockie will love that little shout out, and so will Mitch. So he kicked 5, so good on St Paul's. Division 5, please.
Woody South have won 7 out of their last 8 games, and they've gone from 0-7 in 10th to 7-8 in 4th.
They certainly have. It's probably my favourite story across the Adelaide Footy League this year. It's been absolutely unbelievable to see that transpire. For me, it's just the division that keeps on giving. Eastern Park, they come from behind against Gazer in a mammoth score. 142 plays 123. Marion undefeated, they only won by a point against Trinity. Both teams didn't really want to win the game in the last quarter, it looks like. 0 goals 5 for Trinity. 0 goals 2 for Marion in that final quarter. Division 4, please, mate.
Well, just Division 5, they pulled some wacky results this week.
Wacky every single week, mate.
But Division 4, Colonel Guns versus Mitcham, they're drawing round 5. They're the only team across all the men's divisions to draw, and they probably will be by the end of the season.
There you go. Mitcham, they kept their finals hopes alive with a great win against Jeps Cross, and Colonel Light got pipped by Hectorville by 2 points. So Mitcham and Colonel Light, both teams that come up from Division 5 last year, they're battling away for 5th spot. Division 3, for me, it was all the home teams won. What about you, mate?
I was thinking that, but then I went with the whole top 5 beat the whole bottom 5.
Shows the highly competitive nature of Division 3. And also, if you want more of Division 3, go check out Alex's Division 3 wrap. It was absolutely sensational, obviously down here at the home of the Dragons. Division 2, Henley led at every change, all by single digits, but fell just short. They lost to Goodwood by 6 points.
I've got the top 4 are locked in with 5th spot. It's going to be a 4-team battle from 5th to 8th.
I like it. Very competitive competition there in Division 2. And for Division 1, please, mate.
I've got Broadview. They're the only winless team across all divisions, and an extra. Lockie Pascoe averages 4.6 goals a game, and he's got 3 games to go. He's got 70 goals. Can he hit the ton? I reckon he can.
That's very funny. That's what I've got as well. Will Lockie Pascoe kick 100?
Good mind, sick alike.
70 goals, 3 games plus finals to go. You're going to have to check out Division 1 to see if Lockie will get the big ton. And that, footy fans, is what caught our eye. Alrighty, footy fans, now it is time for Marks of the Week. Thanks to Born to Build, and remember, the winner of Mark of the Year wins a 3-night stay to Kimberley Resorts in Broome. Get your nominations into Darcy at Filming Footy. Make sure you vote on Facebook for your Mark of the Week. But for now, check out these Marks of the Week.
Watch footy with the man. Oh, he goes the short one, goes to the pocket. Too much on the kick, comes off the shin. Kept in play. Oh, great evasion. Goes back to Richard. Smart football. Plays on. Does he have a shot? He does. There's one out the back for oh, great mark. What a fantastic mark. Shot. He does. There's one out the back for oh, great mark. What a fantastic mark. And there's your Born to Build contender for this week.
And welcome back to Between the Posts. Next up, we have Goals of the Week, thanks to Born to Build. Make sure you get your nominations into Darcy at Filming Footy and check out these Goals of the Week.
Well, footy fans, it is that time to wrap up the show. A massive thank you. This is brought to you by Sapol. It is, of course, the last word. Ben, will you have fun?
Always have fun with you, Lachie. Sad to see you go, mate.
I'm sad to see me go as well. But what I will say is I'm going to give you guys one last premiership prediction because my last one worked oh so well. That prediction is that St. Peter's will be premiers. I didn't want to go with Port District. That's a bit boring. St. Peter's to be premiers, but we do have some milestones, mini-me's, and of course some marriages. Now, no marriages, no mini-me's. We need Tommy Javor for that.
We do.
Unfortunately there. Tommy, make sure you build the show if you get any in. The other thing is as well, I mean, go through, give us your milestones.
Milestones, Sean Tapp, 100th game for Sacred Heart, Premier Big Man of Div 2 and Div 1 for a number of years. And of course, we are at the home of the Westminster Dragons in Division 3, and they had a very big milestone over the weekend. Harrison Leanett played his 100th game for the club.
Yep. We've got a women's milestone as well. So Ellie Kerr, congratulations to her 100th game at the Brighton Bombers, the first female junior to hit the 100 game mark. So congratulations there. And Brett Evans, 150 games at Jeps Cross, a quiet achiever. So a massive congratulations to him. It's going to be a super exciting watch on the rest of their season as well. But
Definitely.
it is the end of the show. So one last time, thank you very much for watching my mug for a few weeks. Banwell, have fun leading this thing.
Yep.
You've been leading it behind the scenes for a while anyway, along with Darcy. A massive thank you, obviously, to Darcy as well and to Bailey for filming some of the stuff for the show. But this is it. Goodbye. Thank you so much. And as always, please enjoy the footy. Keep it locked to Filming Footy because there's so much more coming up. But that is it for this week on Between the Posts.